man, we had a crew. Unbeatable.
You won the 1993 CIF California State meet in the 100 meters. Then in 1994, you were unable to repeat due to a false start. So how about that devastation?
That was tough because I had ran like in the rounds, I had ran 10:31 and slowing up. So I knew it was going to be a very fast time in the finals. And what happened was I heard the cameras go off. And then I was so focused and so honed in, any loud pitch noise, I was pedal to the metal getting onto the blocks. And I was in such a zone, I ended up false starting. So it was unfortunate, but it happened. So I didn't get to defend my title. So that was a sad case, but you know, things happen.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So just going back, so your freshman year, you didn't win. So you said, I think you won as a sophomore.
Correct.
Okay, so you won sophomore, and then and so back in the day, if people remember, and people have been watching this podcast, everything back then was at Cerritos College. The CIF finals, the CIF, the prelims might have been at another school like Riverside, but the finals were at Cerritos College, and the master meet was at Cerritos College.
Oh, they had packed the stadium then.
Oh yeah, so like the Friday night of the state meet would be just crazy. Like, and then so I was there when you ran the 10:31 slowing down. I remember being like, oh man, he's gonna kill everybody. And I think Alexander's gonna ask that next, but that I guess that was what you would say if you didn't know Cal High sports and all the rivalries going on. That was where you got started with Pat Johnson and that rivalry because you had, I think everyone expected you to win the 100. But Pat Johnson was a new dude on the scene, so
he was. And I remember going to, I think it was a Riverside Invitational, and I
remember that.
Oh yeah,
he was on the cover of Cal High Sports. I remember it came like, where did Pat Johnson come from?
Came out of nowhere.
No one knew this dude.
Yeah, and I knew,
and he got his name off beating Bryan Howard. I remember, like, oh my God, he beat Bryan Howard at the Riverside County Championship.
Oh yeah. And I knew who Pat was prior to that because I remember competing against him the year before. But he came back; he was a different animal. But at that meet, he caught me off guard because I didn't expect any competition. So that meet, oh yeah, he caught me slipping, and we used that meet for training. So, and I had trained the day before over distance, and then during the meet. We're trying to work on my top end speed. So the goal was, all right, get out the blocks, let them get in front of you and then run them down to work on, running to get that exposure of running from behind, just so it wasn't foreign to me if it ever happened. Well, that happened in the race and I wasn't catching Pat. And I was like, oh man, something's, this is interesting. So, my dad basically said, don't worry about it. It's just for training, but just so you know, you got competition and he's the real deal.
Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can ask the next question about it, but it was crazy because Pat came from nowhere. He was like, I think the year before he got fourth or fifth at the state meet at 200, and you would see that and be like, oh, this dude's good. But no one expected that. Because you guys, I remember when you guys did that, you guys ran like 20 point at like the Riverside Championships. And back then, no one ran 20 points unless it was state meet or Junior Olympics or anything.
Exactly.
And it was like, wait a minute, where did this dude come from? Like Bryan Howard, everybody knows Bryan Howard. Where did Pat Johnson come from? This dude was just a dude from Redlands. Like,
oh yeah, he was the real deal. And he ended up going to Oregon, Pac-10 champion. And then he got a few Super Bowl rings, played in the NFL for the Ravens. So he, if he was beating me, I knew he was going to be something great. And I mean, all the guys that beat me ended up being great. Even the guy that broke all my records here locally, Michael Norman. And I had to deal with Calvin Alvin Harrison. I had to deal with Pat Johnson. So I'm happy to see that if they beat me, whoever beat me, they became great and did something great.